Welcome to BTV News Hour. I'm Angelina Mambo. It's Monday, the 20th of June 2016. Here are our top stories. Buhari, the only illiterate president in the universe that requires 13 sons to produce his certificate. Biafra, it is liberation time, but who can we trust? The world must stop Nigeria from the arbitrary incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. A plot by US, UK and Nigerian government to execute Nnamdi Kanu exposed. Now the news in details. Buhari, the illiterate Nigerian president, as the controversy surrounding Buhari's WAEC certificate lingers, he has employed the service of 13 senior advocates of Nigeria and 10 other lawyers for his defense. It will be recalled that an Abuja-based legal practitioner, Nnamdi Nwokocha, had earlier dragged Buhari to court, challenging the authenticity of his WAEC result and arguing that he did not meet the educational requirements to contest the presidential elections. He alleged that Buhari did not sit for the Cambridge West African School certificate in 1961 as he claimed. Interestingly, on May 26th, Justice Adeniyi Ademola of the Federal High Court of in Abuja dismissed Buhari's preliminary objection to Nwokocha's suit. Many well-meaning people in the society expected Buhari to show his marriage certificate and save himself from the embarrassment of public ridicule. Instead, he went ahead to hire 23-man legal team to defend his claim for a certificate he never had. That is the Nigeria's anti-corruption for you. Does anybody need the service of a soothsayer to see for himself the open, smelling route in the Nigeria's presidency? A country where PhD holders are ruled by an illiterate without a certificate has something wrong with it. While we close our noses to protect ourselves from the infectious decay oozing from Nigeria's seat of power, we are even more bewildered that the third arm of the government, come the judiciary, had contacted the spreading infection already. The number of senior advocates involved in a mere case of certificate presentation is so staggering that a curious mind would immediately ask himself why the need for such number of legal luminaries for a simple certificate case. But a deeper reflection shows a more serious issues hiding behind the scenes. The judges are more materialistic than moral. They have accepted the services of a man who manipulated Nigeria's electoral law to the seat of power, probably to defend and retain him in power. Can these lawyers be so quick and in such numbers accept to defend a poor man in the society whose case is not linked to forgery, lies and manipulation as in Buhari's case? The speed at which these lawyers and sons trudged to the court to defend Buhari's certificate is not only alarming, but indicates the rot in the judiciary. No poor man or innocent person in Nigeria can have the services of such number of lawyers. The case of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, is a clear contrast here. If the number of lawyers defending a certificate fraudster has defended Nnamdi Kanu, the situation would be different today. The world should now see the true nature of the man who for the past 12 months has held sway under the pretense of anti-corruption crusader, that he is not. Corruption has been the bane of Nigeria politicians. In 1999, Salisu, a Speaker of the House of Representatives, forged his certificate from the University of Toronto, Canada. Since then, more politicians in Nigeria have been indicted for certificate forgeries, and none of these lawyers paying homage to Buhari ever stood for or talked about it. The world should see Nigeria as a den of political rogues, liars, cheats, and manipulators, and endorse the recognition and restoration of Biafra. We cannot be ruled by a savage, much more an unlearned one at that. Today, there was a sitting about Nnamdi Kanu's court. And during today's court, one of the defendants, Mr. Benjamin Madubugu, told the presiding judge, John Toho, that Barrister Amobi Nzenye is his new lawyer. Having accepted to preside over the second defendant, Barrister Amobi, however, seeks for the adjournment of the case, which was granted to him by the presiding judge. The case was then adjourned to September 26, 2016. October 14, 2015 was a day Nigeria and her government decided to commit a gradual and steady suicide. One can choose to call it a disastrous day that could have been averted if Nigerian government was wise enough, but unfortunately they showed to the whole world how unwise they were. Because of their desperation to quench the Biafra restoration, they ended up playing a vital role in the restoration of Biafra. It was a sad news for millions of Biafrans all over the world, and good news to Biafran's enemies. The news of the abduction of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, triggered a tsunami that has been sinking Nigeria ever since. Many came out from their offices. Some closed their shops to join in the solidarity protest for his release. But Nigeria, doing what they are known for, did not give a listening ear. Rather, the protest led to the shedding of blood of innocent Biafran protesters. His sacrifice to allow himself come down to the lion's den yielded a great fruit, because many who didn't believe in the Biafra restoration came to trust and believe in him. Truthfully, after the Civil War, this kind of move has not been taken by any man to this level, which shows how dedicated and committed this new generation are to make sure no stone is left unturned for Biafra to come. Who amongst the money-bagged politicians today can sacrifice himself for a day just for an average civilian on the street? Which state governor is ready to turn himself in for the interest of his people? I am very sure there is none. Instead, they loot the money meant to develop the nation for themselves. The poor are getting poorer every day by day, while the rich are getting richer, abandoning the hopeless masses to die in hardship. Therefore, the great children of God, the time has come for all of us to join hands together and restore our last hope, which is the sovereign state of Biafra. If only we can accept the truth that we don't have any other country we can be proud of, that we can be proud to call our own than Biafra. There is no sane human who will trust this bunch of heartless Nigerian politicians, because they have sold their conscience for money. None of them is worth dying for, because they don't have our interests at heart. And therefore, the time has come for us to join hands together and wipe out these evildoers who have sold their hearts to Lucifer. The restoration of Biafra is the total liberation of our unborn children. Therefore, it is our top priority to achieve it. Even the deaf and the dumb can tell it that the apprehension of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, was done only for a malicious purpose. Kanu, who was abducted and illegally detained for nothing other than for seeking Biafra's freedom and self-determination, has never been proven guilty till date, which goes to show the decay in Nigeria's judicial system. You will recall that Nnamdi Kanu had previously been granted bail and his case dismissed by 2 judges, but instead his bail was denied and his trial disregarded due to the manipulation of the judiciary by Muhammadu Buhari. Nnamdi Kanu has not been found guilty of any of the charges leveled against him and therefore should be granted bail. There is absolutely no reason for Nnamdi Kanu's continued incarceration, Therefore, the innocent freedom fighter and prisoner of conscience who has been held captive should be freed rather than make him undergo undeserved brutality in prison. It is a gruesome case of human rights abuse, and the world should not be mute on these crimes against humanity being meted out on Nnamdi Kanu. The freedom of Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra should be the concern of the world, as the parallel situation of Biafrans in Nigeria is getting higher and outrageous. The world must not watch this injustice in silence and must do everything necessary to put a final end to this act of recklessness and gruesomeness by the Nigerian government. Our attention has been drawn to an information revealed by the coordinator of all coordinators of the indigenous people of Biafra, Dr. Clifford Chukwuemeka Iranya, on Radio Biafra last evening, 19th of June 2016, of the hatched plans by the Nigerian government in collaboration with the United States of America and British government to topple President Muhammadu Buhari's government via coup on grounds of ill health, and thereby utilize the opportunity to kill the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. He further revealed that since Buhari may be incapacitated to complete his tenure as the president of Nigeria, this may not go down well with the North, where Buhari comes from, so as to avert the repeat of the late President Yar'Adua and Jonathan saga. The North, with the help of the named Western government above, are planning a coup d'etat to overthrow Buhari's government and on the process kill Nnamdi Kanu to quell the Biafra restoration. The whole world is now kept on notice to be wary of these concluded plans by the Nigerian government in collaboration with the Western government to create anarchy into the Nigerian country. Thank you so much for joining us here on BTV News Hour. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.